While the auto industry as a whole is fixated on pumping out more and more SUVs, Cadillac is showing some love to their car lineup. New engines, new names, and a new definition for the letter V. This is the all-new CT4 V-Series. With the untimely demise of Cadillac's flagship sedan earlier this year, their renamed car lineup has been reduced to two models: the midsize CT5, which used to be called the CTS, and this compact CT4, which went by the name ATS. And both are offered in higher performing V variants, but not the capital V you might recall from mighty Cadillacs of the past. Think more V Sport here, at least until the new Blackwing models come along, which will represent the new performance pinnacle of the V sub-brand. Much like the AMG Light models at Mercedes and the mid-range M versions at BMW, these new V-Series sedans come with increased output and a host of performance mods to give owners the V look and some V-zip without the big V price tag. The CT4V starts at $45,500 and checks in here with all-wheel drive and a plethora of options for $54,260, considerably less than the previous ATS-V. But there's no V6 here. Instead, you'll find a motor whose cylinders are all in a row. If I only had a dime for each time I wished for a second volute. No, but seriously, this new 2.7-liter Turbo 4, which you may recall recently became an option on the Silverado pickup, uses a different approach to build lots of torque quickly. In place of a twin-scroll turbo is a dual volute, two spiral chambers sending air to both sides of the turbine, spinning it more quickly and with greater efficiency. So power is impressive with tons of boost. 325 horsepower and 380 pound-feet of torque working through an engine-specific 10-speed auto. The CT4's base 2-liter engine utilizes an 8-speed. There are no stick shifts to be found. My time with this shadow metallic beauty is short, however. COVID-19 has turned this press junket into an overnight stay at my home, so this is speed dating automotive style. But I really do like the look. Its wheelbase is identical to the old ATS, but this car is about 4 inches longer, space that shows up in the larger trunk. Passenger volume is by and large unchanged. V treatments include a limited slip rear differential, drive modes with a customizable V setting that can be triggered right here from the steering wheel, summer use tires with Brembo front brakes, and numerous V-Series design cues such as the rear spoiler and quad exhaust tips. And if it's the rear-wheel drive model, it comes with Cadillac's brilliant magnetic ride control suspension. But this all-wheel drive car makes do with the CT4's standard passive dampers. Performance traction management is on board too, a feature we've seen in other sporty GM cars that tweaks the traction and stability control systems in stages based upon the driving conditions. I've played with it in its most unrestricted settings while also in track mode, and you can get this perfectly balanced four-wheel grip car to slide a little bit, but always under complete control. And indeed, it's been out here in a private, controlled environment that I've started to form a stronger bond with the CT4. And regardless of what drive mode you're in, the car is smart enough to realize when you're ready to go and will activate performance drive mode automatically. Though Cadillac tells me this car can run a sub-5 second 0 to 60 time, I've repeated 5.4 seconds over a trio of runs without using the launch control feature. Why? Because I couldn't get it to work. But that's still 0.8 faster than the 6.2 second claim time of the 2-liter turbo. And once these brakes heat up, they get very serious about shutting it down. Gas mileage checks in at 23 mpg on premium. So here's the deal. This engine is an overachiever, and the dual volute approach pays dividends with a robust torque curve that always makes it feel like it's ready to pounce. The car's also glued to the road, with an effortless finesse about its handling. The sport seats with the adjustable side bolsters are a perfect fit, and the car looks amazing. But it really wasn't love after first drive. I came away after my first day with this car feeling like the CT4 was just a bit soulless. But here on my final day, I'm beginning to learn exactly what this car is. It's a luxury sedan that that's been bred with some up-level performance and not the other way around. So I'm beginning to really have some fun from behind the wheel. Though this car desperately needs a better soundtrack. The steering can be a bit heavy-handed, and these paddle shifters working the 10-speed auto tend to be a bit slow. So all told, I'm probably a better candidate for the rear-wheel drive version. The active noise cancellation does a superb job of keeping things quiet inside, and the ride is very soft for a sports model. It's really unfortunate, though, that there's not a way to make this car sound better because it's truly lacking that visceral component. The look and feel of the cabin doesn't blow me away, but it's fine. Long trip comfortable and replete with excellent GM electronics. Infotainment comes courtesy of their typical well-stocked, easy-to-use setup, but with a crazy amount of redundant controls for the touchscreen, which is very much in reach of the driver anyway. There's a head-up display, limited performance pages in front of the driver, automatic cooled seats, which have been a godsend this sweaty week, a crisp-sounding Bose audio system, and a heaping dose of driver assistance features. Even Super Cruise will be available during the next model year. So Super Cruise only works on limited access highways, meaning no cross streets, just exit ramps. And the car will determine where it will work, not you. So you've got to be in the driver's seat and paying attention, of course. This camera right here makes certain of that. And if you don't, you'll be warned first visually, and then eventually audibly. And if you're stubborn enough, the car will actually pull over and call OnStar, coming to a complete stop. Okay, so just like a regular cruise control system, you're going to want to set your speed, make sure the car is centered in its lane, and then press the Super Cruise button. This lights up green right here, telling you the system is ready to go. And now you are doing hands-free driving, completely relaxed, allowing you to enjoy your environment. I absolutely love it. It doesn't make me nervous at all. The only bummer is that unlike in the Mercedes models I've tested, it doesn't change lanes for you. You still have to do that. But I'm a little disappointed with the lack of performance gauges and their graphical depictions, something Dodge does so well. A little more show in here would be nice. There's also this nifty phone holder in the center console, but no wireless CarPlay, something Cadillac hints is coming soon. I don't imagine many CT4 owners will use these rear seats that often, but when they do, the adults back here will be okay, as long as those in the front are willing to play along and slide up just a little bit, because these seats do sit deep, so there is just enough leg room, and they sit up high so that you can see over the front headrests. But accoutrements are few and far between. I think by now we'd all rather have a USB port than this, right? So that's the CT4V in a 24-hour test drive nutshell. A fledgling Cadillac that gives you a taste of the V life before it spreads its black wings. For TestDriveNow.com, I'm Steve Hammis.